from believing to knowing on any subject, all you have to do is softly launch the thought of what you want, and the universe will softly and quickly give you the formula, the circumstances and events for the complete achievement of it. And then your life becomes not one of feeling worried about things not happening, but one of feeling adventurous and exciting about the amazing ways in which things will happen. Jerry and Esther say, it's going to be fun to watch that one play out. They never say, oh, I wonder if we can make this happen. They just say, it's going to be fun to watch the twists and turns of this. And when you get into that attitude, then the twists and turns of your own life become humorous and adventurous and entertaining and confirming and soothing. In other words, you find yourself beginning to recognize that you are a powerful creator. But even more than a powerful creator, you are a worthy being who is supposed to get everything that you turn your attention to. And everything in the universe is working to help you to get everything that you want. You are the only one ever who thwarts that. You are the only one ever who stands in the way of things that you want. So today we're going to be talking all day about closing this emotional gap. We want to show you how to tell where you are on the emotional scale and how to apply processes in order to bring yourself more into alignment with what you've already told Source you want, and Source has already told you, yes, we are in utter agreement with this. Everything is lined up. It's just a matter of time. Take your time. No rush. It's not going anywhere. Please yourself as much as you can. Get to feeling as good about this as you can, as fast as you can, and the faster you get to expecting it to be, the faster it will be. But never, not once, not ever, any time, any place would Source Energy say to you, you are not supposed to want that, or you are not allowed to want that. If your time-space reality has the data that gives you the inspiration to conclude a desire, this time-space reality has the resources to fulfill it. We're not kidding you, no matter what it is. So, the emotional scale is a key point here. We want you to understand, and you probably already do from what you've been living, that every subject is really like two subjects. Pick up the big stick with the subject called health on it, and on one end of the stick is wellness, and on the other end of the stick is illness. And you might be vibrating closer to the wellness end, or you might be vibrating closer to the illness end. So when somebody talks about health, you're going to start vibrating right where you last left it. When somebody talks about money, you're going to vibrate right where you last left it. Are you feeling prosperous, or are you feeling not enoughness? In other words, where you last left that vibration is where you're going to vibrate when the subject is activated within you. So a very easy to understand, and we think helpful in terms of how it causes you to respond to your own creation on a day-to-day basis. Here's a good way to look at it. Picture a big long stick called money out there in your future, not far out there, but it's out there. And on one end of the stick is incredible abundance, and on the other end of the stick is incredible lack of abundance. And here you are in your now, wherever you are, doesn't matter. Magellan doesn't care where you were yesterday. Here's where you are right now. And right now, where all of your power is when you're offering your vibration. And the vibration that you're offering is having a vibrational relationship with the desires. Now, your desires over there in that corner, I want lots of money and fulfillment and love and appreciation and feelings of, there's a lot over in that corner. But on this subject of money, I want lots of money. So Source is in agreement with that. The question is, where are you on the subject? So here you are wherever you are. The thing that we want to impress upon you is that in every waking moment, you are vibrationally marching toward something, because you can't turn your vibration off. How you feel, how you think, how you believe. In other words, your vibration that's active, and you know what causes an active vibration is focus. And you know that focus is remembering, imagining, observing, contemplating, musing, having conversation. In other words, anything that you are considering in any way activates a vibration within you, and the vibration that's activated has a vibrational relationship to what you want that's over there in that corner. And so, as you are in every waking moment moving towards something, we want you to be aware that in every waking moment you're moving towards something. So if you're grumbling, you're marching towards something that when you get there, you're not going to like it. If you're ornery, you're marching towards something that when you get there, you're not going to like it. If you're fearful, you're marching towards something that when you get there, you're not going to like it. If you're joyful, you're marching towards something, and when you get there, you're really going to like it. And the reason that we keep saying when you get there is because 99% of every creation is completed vibrationally before you get the physical evidence of it. People say, Abraham, it came out of the blue. And we say, no, it didn't. It didn't come out of the blue. It came out of your vibrational offering, and when it feels to you that it just pounced on you, that has to mean that you've been offering a vibration that has become so normal to you that you don't even notice that you are in a state of orneriness, or a state of fearfulness, or a state of pessimism, or a state of revenge. In other words, if things are happening to you that you don't like, and it feels like they're just pouncing in your experience, we want you to understand that it can only be because you haven't made the association between how you're feeling and what's coming. So can you see how the better you feel, the more as it unfolds is going to please you, and the worse you feel, the more as it unfolds is not going to please you. But we don't want you to worry about where you are in relationship to anything, because where you are is where you are, and you can begin right now to fork off more deliberately in the direction of what you are wanting, because in every moment you have choices. So let's say you came home, you got your mail out of the mailbox, there was a great big bill, sort of took your breath away, you know you don't have enough to pay it, and it made the pit of your stomach feel empty. You feel what you might describe as fear, and you sit down to pay your bills. And so where you are right now is not in a very good place. And you're having thoughts like, I should be more responsible, as you fork off in the wrong direction, as you blame yourself. I'm going to take my American Express card away from my wife, you say, as you fork off in the wrong direction. I don't know what I'm going to do, you say. The economy is getting worse and worse, you say. There are so many things I want that I can't afford, you say, as in this little run, you make several consistent forks towards something that eventually, when it manifests, and it will, you're not going to like it. And you say, well, something already manifested that I don't like. I have a bill that's bigger than I can pay. And we say, all right, so that's where you are. Just make an effort from where you are, wherever it is, on whatever subject it is, to try to fork off in the direction of something that feels a little better. Because if you will make the slightest effort, so you say, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've spent too much money. We're out of control. And then you catch yourself because that negative emotion in the pit of your stomach is increasing. And then you say, wait a minute. I don't mean to keep forking off in that direction. I want to start listing in the other direction. So you say, I'll figure it out, as you slightly fork this way. And then you say, yeah, right, as you fork back over there. And then you say, things have been, on the whole, getting better for me, as you fork over here. If that's not true, you don't fork, you stay right there. In other words, but you keep reaching for something that feels a little better. I'll figure it out. I'll call them. They'll give me a little more time. More money could flow to me. I can't see how. But maybe it will. Not so far. But wouldn't it be nice if I could find some ways of feeling better about this? And if I really focus and pay attention, I can affect more leeway in my budget. And my budget is not just about money coming in, it's about money going out. And I do have more control about that than I've been exercising. And it might be kind of fun to bring this into alignment in some way. And it'll be all right. I'll figure it out as I go. Now, that might be all you do. And it didn't sound like anything that incredible, did it? You didn't solve the problem. You didn't dig up a big pile of money in the backyard. Nothing amazing happened. All that happened was you made an effort to fork toward something that feels a little better. Now the phone might ring, or something might change the subject, or you might have to go to work, or any number of other things will now distract you from this. But then the next thing that happens that causes the stick called financial abundance to be activated within you, now your vibration's over here where you last forked to, not over there. And so now the thoughts that come to you are more of this vibrational magnitude, not this vibrational magnitude. And as next time it comes up, your old habit of forking off in something that feels negative might come, but you'll be less likely to get very far this time because you now understand you're wanting to list this way, you see. Life is about a series of nows. It's not about big events that swoop in and change the structure or the dynamics of your life. Life is about moment-to-moment vibrational offering. So all a belief is a thought that you keep thinking. And a thought that you keep thinking causes the same sorts of things to continue to happen to you. If you want something different to happen relative to your body or relative to your relationships or relative to your money, you've got to offer different vibrations. And we think that what goes wrong with so many of you is that you're vibrating over here in something that doesn't feel so good, and you meet some bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Abraham student or teacher or otherwise who says, you create your own reality, you should cheer up. And you say, or want to say, it's not possible that I create my own reality or you'd be gone. Because nothing is more annoying than to feel like this and have someone who feels like this coaching you. Because they're not on the same vibrational wavelength. They don't have the same vibrational relationship between your desire and where you are right now. But as you decide that what matters most to you is the way you feel, and as you decide to take vibrational control of your own moment-to-moment experiences, you'll start cleaning up your vibration every day, hundreds of times on the same 5 or 6 issues until you'll be vibrating over there before you know it, and the evidence will begin to show itself to you. We think that what happens to so many of you is that you're vibrating here, maybe in fear. That's pretty strong, resistant vibration. Let's talk about this for a moment. The emotional scale is joy all the way to despair. And up here where joy abounds, joy, appreciation, love, they all feel pretty much the same. They're very similar vibrations. There is a perception of utter empowerment, freedom. But on the other end of the scale that feels like fear or despair, there is the perception of utter disempowerment, bondage. And we want you to understand that every emotion that you feel is about a graduation of your perception. And we carefully use the word perception because you are so free you can choose bondage. Nobody else can vibrate for you. But the way you perceive yourself to be is the way you believe yourself to be. And the way you believe yourself to be is the way you offer your vibration. And the way you offer your vibration is the way the universe responds to you. So your perception is everything. And what we have noticed is you can't jump perceptions because law of attraction won't let you. If you feel like a victim, the world is going to treat you like a victim. It can't do otherwise. You've got to feel like less of a victim. And people will say, well, if the world would treat me better, I would feel like less of a victim. And we say, we know that, but you've got to feel like less of a victim before the world can treat you like less of a victim. You've got to change your vibration if anything is going to change in your experience. But don't try to jump all the way. That's a quantum leap. You'll end up in the ditch because law of attraction won't help you. You can't set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 101 FM. The frequencies have to line up, but you can reach for something that feels a little better than fear. And we want you to acknowledge, we know you do if you are privately and personally contemplating it, that anger or rage or even revenge feels significantly better than fear or the perception of bondage. Wouldn't you rather just be mad than be afraid? And if you are in that place of fear or despair, and you deliberately reach for a thought that just makes you seethe, and you begin to breathe a little bit again, and you stop and say, I feel better. I focused, I chose a different thought, and I feel relief. That sensation of relief is the sensation of releasing some resistance. And as you reach for less angry thought, you'll release more resistance. And as you reach for frustration, you'll release more resistance. And it's pretty easy to go from fear or despair to revenge. And it's pretty easy to go from revenge to seething anger.